Hey guys, this is Steven, also known as iSlick from me. I'm bringing a review to Batman Eternal number 24, written by Ray Fawkes and art by Andy Clark, and the colors are by Blonde. Um, I'm just only gonna say those names because they're the main ones in the script, and the writers are just consulting for this issue, I think. Um, there's just a lot of this writers, and I'm not gonna list all of them. So as for the summary of this issue goes, Spoiler is spying on her dad, Clue Master, seeing what he's been up to and his game plan, while Batman solves a mystery to where Batwing and the Spectre has been. Now I'm discussing with you what I did like and what I didn't like in this issue. For what I did like, I think the writers team in this series did improve on this issue. It's just like it's much better than the last, I guess, 3 or 2 issues that were pretty bad. They were kind of rushed out here. This issue still seems like it's rushed a little bit, but not too much to the point where it's takes you out of the feel of the moment. It's still a good issue that you will probably mostly enjoy. So there's a lot of good things you find out in here. Like it's good to find out that that all these villains like Hush, Clue Master, and some other lesser known villains are planning to destroy Gotham. And it really shows how much of a formidable foe that Hush can be. He really is a smart villain, and he pretty much knows how to like defeat and defeat Batman in a way like other villains can't seem to do. Um, It's also nice to find out that Batman finds clues to where Batwing and the Spectre has been, because they've been missing for quite a while, and I think Batman has been trying to look for them because he hasn't heard from them for a very long time. So it's good to see that he finally finds some clues after a long disappearance of not having them around in the series. So I hope we get to find out more about this in the next couple of issues. I also think that the action is done pretty well, and even though I have mixed feelings about the art, which I'm gonna discuss in the what I didn't like section, but I noticed that the artist does very good on the action, and he has that going pretty well for him. Now, for what I didn't like in this issue, I'm gonna finally discuss I'm gonna finally discuss about the art. But the art here is very inconsistent because some of the panels look good, some of the panels look bad. When the art is bad, it looks very muddy, and the character models and the face expressions look very dirty. Like you can barely see the detail in there. And the only time that the art actually looks good is when it comes to the action. I don't know. It seems like he didn't rush when it came to the action. It's like the character models are very solid. The fake expressions look more clear, and you can see what the characters are feeling in the action. So it just seems kind of weird here. I mean, I don't know what Andy Clark's art is usually like. I mean, I've never seen his art before in other series that I've read. He's probably drawing some other books, like indie books that I don't know about. So I don't know his art style. So I don't know if his art style is usually this messy, but some of it does look kind of messy and some of it looks clean. And I think the only reason why it looks like that because maybe they had a tight schedule and they had to rush some of the panels. So yeah, it's kind of sad that the art doesn't do as well in this issue than the others. Another thing I did not like is a lot of the plot points are kind of unnecessary in this issue. Like with Batman fighting clues about Batwing and the Spectre. It is interesting, but it's it comes off like a tease. It's not really much explored in there, and I think they could have left it for the next issue. Cause I think there needs to be something explained about Spoiler's skills. I feel very questioned about her skills because she comes off as more like a skilled superhero vigilante. She doesn't come off as an amateur, and it seems kind of weird. We don't know if she was trained by somebody in her early years, and I don't think she could be trained by her father because in this issue she pretty much kicks his ass. Like he's like so defenseless compared to her. It's like it's surprising, and I think they need to, focus more on how she's got so skilled. I think they're just doing this way too rapidly, and they're just trying to like make her have the skills already, which is kind of bad because it makes it feel unnatural and it doesn't give any potential training for her with Batman in the future. Does it make her seem like she's already too skilled for Batman to train her, and that kind of makes some disappointments for future storylines. And I also think that the unnecessary plot point when it comes to spoiler was her flashback. It doesn't really explain anything. It's just some relevance to her riding a motorcycle. I mean, she rides a bike in the flashback, but I can't seem to connect the two. It's very unimportant. It's just not necessary for them to put it there. I don't know why. I just think they're trying to connect the bike and the motorcycle together. It feels forced that way. I don't know why they did that. As for the theme of this issue, the theme I come up with is avenge. Avenge is taking vengeance upon someone who's who's been wrongdoing towards you or an act of crime. This word is not to be mixed up with revenge because revenge is more to affect actual harm to the person who's doing the wrongdoing, or more like killing or torturing. So avenge is more like a lighter way of doing it, like more like taking the person to jail, and that's what you see with Spoiler. She does that with her father. Like instead of like wanting to kill him or anything, she finds ways to like get him to jail for doing some wrongdoing on her and other criminal acts that he's involved in. So that's why I think the theme here is revenge. Now, for what I give this issue, I give it a 4 out of 5 stars and a 9 out of 10 stars. I think this issue is a little bit better in the recent weeks. It's good you get to find about Hodge, Clue Master, and what the other villains has been up to. There is some mixed feelings on the art. Is a bit inconsistent. I mean, it looks muddy on the dialogue, but it looks good on the action. I really don't know how I feel about the art. Um, I think they need to work on Spoiler, making her not seem like more like she's a skilled fighter. I think they need to make her more like an amateur, like calm down a bit, because I would like to see her train with Batman, because Batman is a good um, he's a good fighter, and he's trained the Robins to fight pretty well, and I would like to see Batman train her to become a better fighter later down the road. And we already see her that she's skilled. I think that would kind of make Batman training her useless at this point. It's like it would kind of fall apart already if that story ever comes to play. Now for I think they should explain more about Spoiler's skills and how she knows how to fight already, rather than putting the clues up with Batman to Batwing and Spectre, because it's kind of very minor, and I think they should have just focused on just Spoiler the whole entire issue. I don't think we need to see Batman on every single issue. But I guess it's a good thing to see what happens about Batman finding out about Batwing and Spectre, because we haven't seen them in a while, and it's about time Batman finds out about them. But despite the flaws in this issue, I think it's still worth picking up. I mean, it definitely makes spoiler fans happy, and there's a lot of interesting plot revelations. Now, I think that's about it for this issue. If you want to reach me on Twitter, reach me at iSlick. If you want to check the variant version of this issue, go to Meta Reviews of UltimateAwesomeness.blogspot.com. And you can put some comments down below and tell us what you think, and I'll come up with a response back to it. So I'll talk to you guys and see you then.